Hey guys, so I'm here at my vendor event and sold a few things during the show. It seems like they're getting ready to dismiss, so I am praying that we sell a few more things. Let me flip the camera. You can see this is the back side of my setup. I sold a sweater so far and a crossbody cowl and some hats and headbands. So, need to sell way more items. Okay, you all, I'm home. I forgot to take this before, and I almost forgot to take it now because I was already out of it, but I put it back on so I could show you guys my crossbody that I made last year for Christmas. Let me get a little closer so you can see all the marrow that runs through it. So it's red, white, and green running through the yarn. It's Joann's still selling it this year. It's part of the winter collection, and I made it last year, and it has a matching headband, which I did not wear today, but I'll show you more, and we'll chat about how things went when I talk to you tomorrow. All right, good night. Hello, welcome back to another day of Vlogmas. I believe this is day 16. Thanks for hanging out with me. We're halfway through the month. I don't know if I'm gonna continue through Christmas all the way into New Year's Eve, but we shall see. So I'm headed out, running to Sam's Club to run some errands for my mom, and then I'm gonna come back and get her, and we'll go to Meijer. But I just wanted to chat with you while I had a minute about last night. So let me say this, that for positives, before I go into the whole thing. So for positives, people were really excited about my pieces, especially some of my sweaters and stuff. And that's the thing, you never know in what location you're going to be in, what will appeal to who. So last week, it was all about the hooded crossbodies and stuff, and things with hoods. This week, it was all about the granny square sweaters and hats, bucket hats. So I sold a couple ruffle hats, which was funny because I had taken them someplace and then got no traction on them. And then these young girls were in love with them. So I sold this white and blue, all different colors, shades of blue and silver that I made in the summertime out of some old Red Heart yarn. I don't even think they make that colorway. It was a stripe, but I made 5 granny squares, and then I put ruffles on the end of the hat. Really cute. Young girl bought that. I had a black and white ruffle. The hat part was black, and then I used the black and white stripes from Red Heart to put the ruffle on, and that was really pretty. And another girl wanted it too, and somebody had got it before she came back to the table. So I will say that I sold 2 large pieces of crossbody and a hexi-cardi, and a bunch of hats and headbands. I will say that for the price, the vendor fee that they charged, there wasn't enough traffic to warrant that price. When you charge somebody $100, like, you want to, hopefully can, quadruple, maybe even, 5 times that amount your vendor should walk away with, just to make it worth their while. And I felt like I got the most sales out of the 3 vendors that were there, and so I kind of felt bad because they had us off to the side, and they didn't drive traffic into the room we were in from the place. So there was like no food vendors for intermission, like with popcorn and drinks or snacks, chips, things that people would drive people into the fellowship hall for folks to kind of travel through. So there were people who kind of wandered in, and if they hadn't wandered in when they did, we would have had like no traffic, and they saw some of my pieces and went crazy. So that was good. And then some of the people who were in the play, who they were actually in the cast of the play, and so they walked back and through our area to get to their place where they were dressing and practicing and stuff. So those young girls saw the hats and stuff. Listen, if it hadn't have been for them, like, I probably wouldn't have made my vendor feedback. So that was a blessing. Made my vendor feedback. I spent about $100 on yarn this week preparing, and then the things that I made with that yarn did not sell. So I won't say I broke even. I did a little bit more, and I bought an 8-foot tablecloth because they provided 8-foot tables for the vendors. So I won't say that I broke even. I did a little bit more than that, but it was exposure. A lot of people took cards and were asking about custom made pieces, you know, things, colors that they want, like their sorority colors, or just different, you know, things that they had in mind. So hopefully and prayerfully people will reach out for those custom orders and things like that. They're having another event in January, like right at the beginning of January. It's like a women's summit, and they're having a marketplace. And so one of the young girls was like, you should come, like, I think you would do really well. And so I said to my mom, you know, when she mentioned, I said, well, if things go well tonight, like, you know, maybe I will. However, because it didn't go well, I'm a little leery. Again, just because of the vendor fee that they're charging. And when you charge people that much to vend, you need to, and it was, again, I'm just talking about my experience. I'm not talking negative about, not trying to be negative, but just to help anybody else who may be thinking about doing things. Or even if you host events. There was nobody to meet the vendors at the door that they told us to come to, and the door was locked. So I had to go around to the front where there were people waiting to get into the play, find someone who showed me where to go. So I walked all the way around so that they could show me what door to use, which was the door I had went to originally, and it was locked. So got back in the car, drove around to the other side, went to the door, and the door that I had left propped open, somebody had closed it. So it was locked again. I had to bang. Luckily, somebody was walking by, came and let me in. So that was the first thing. The person, whoever was our contact, I never met them. They never came and introduced themselves. Never, you know, didn't offer the vendors snacks, beverage, like anything. Again, $100 for one night. It was $200 to do both nights. And I'm so glad that I just decided to do the one night again. You know, I'm glad that I went because, again, I want to expose my art and my craft to people, you know, that are not in my same circle of folks who support me. I want to be able to branch out. This is totally out of my comfort zone, things like that. So I'm really glad that I did it, and I'm not knocking it in that way. However, again, there was no way to drive traffic into where we were. It might have been better for us to be where they were taking the tickets from people in that area right before they went into the sanctuary where the play was being held, because that people would have to come. Because even after the show, they let you come into that room to meet the cast, but all the family and friends, and it was late. The play ran way longer than, and most plays do, way longer than they said it would. So it was getting close to like 10 o'clock. So people were bringing flowers for their family members who were in the play, taking pictures, all of that thing, those things. And so they really didn't stop at our tables. I made a couple more sales after the play let out, but again, not nearly. I mean, if I'd have paid $25 or $35 for the table, I would have said, you know, that was worth it. Yeah. And even there was the lady next to me who was selling jewelry, really pretty beaded bracelets, handmade beaded bracelets with precious stones, semi-precious stones. She had signed up to do both nights, which you already had to pay. And she even said she wasn't going to come back tonight. Like, it wasn't even worth her time. And I felt bad. Like I said, I felt there was a young lady selling like scrubs and something else, like lotions that she made next to me. And I'm not even sure if she made her booth fee back. I felt really, really bad. It was really, really cold where we were as well. And I think because probably in the place where there was all the people, they had to turn the heat down because it wasn't really that cold here last night. So I'm guessing they turned the heat down from where all, you know, where all the people were congregating, because that can get steamy. However, we were chilly. Like, it was just, yeah, it was so many things. So I'm sorry, I was pulling up to Starbucks and the drive-through is closed. So hopefully I'll be able to run in and grab my Starbucks fairly quickly, because I need something. Anywho, so met a lady who really, really loved my pieces. She had on a knitted sweater. I don't know if it was machine knitted or hand knitted, because I'm not a knitting expert, but it was really beautiful. And so she had an appreciation for things, my color palettes that I had left in the Hexicardies. She was just like, she took my card. She's like, I'm gonna think about what colors I want and I'm gonna contact you. So that was cool. Like I said, I met a lot of women who, you know, really like, even young women who liked the hats and stuff, because, you know, bucket hats and ruffle hats are in, and I hadn't really met the crowd yet who really liked the bucket hats. So I was kind of glad, because I had and I still have tons of bucket hats, but I did sell a couple of the ruffle hats. I sold a bucket hat that was made like my lion's hat with the solid granny squares. I sold a chunky hat. I sold a man's chunky hat without the poof. I sold a headband, a red cranberry colored sparkle headband. I sold the mustard gold crossbody cowl. I sold my Hexicardie that was like, it had green, it was like fall colors. It had like green and gold and brown, and it had a little bit of salmon, coralish color. A lady tried that on, fell in love with it. And I thought that she really did. My mom saw her say she wanted it. I didn't hear it. And I was putting it back on a hanger. She's like, what are you doing? I want that. I'm like, oh. So, that was cool. So selling one of the Hexicardies alone made me my booth feedback. And again, she wandered in there on a mistake, but of course things aren't mistakes. Bless God. She was looking for food and water. And her and a couple people stopped at our tables and bought some things. So that was a blessing to us, because again, we were just kind of sitting there. The intermission was really short, and they didn't drive people in to shop during the intermission. So again, it was an experience that I'm glad I did. I will be thoughtful and prayerful about doing this next event in January, because also right after Christmas is when people are their brokest and they're not really looking to shop. So I don't know, again, just don't want to waste time, energy, and money, because if I do it, I'm probably going to want to make a bunch more Hexicardies, because they all seem to love them, and make them in different color palettes. I will probably want to make a couple more crossbody cowls. So yeah, and this is getting lengthy, so I'm sorry. But I did want to just let you guys know how things went. So yeah, we got home at about almost 11 o'clock. We had to stop in the open late drive-through at Wendy's because we were starving, and grab some chicken sandwiches. And my mom, bless her heart, and I just love that she comes with me she was nodding off. We were watching a Christmas movie and she couldn't make it through it. She was nodding off and went on to bed. So yeah, so today I'm running errands for her in the house, well, us, and so I don't know if I'll pop back on. I have a little bit of footage from last night. It's not very good, but I'll put it in here somewhere. And I showed you my crossbody cowl. I'll pop that. It'll be either before or after, so you either would have already seen it or stay tuned. Anywho, thanks for joining me. Please like, comment, subscribe, share if you feel led to. Hope this helped in some way if you're thinking about doing craft shows or vendor events or anything like that in your area. I pray that your weekend is going well, that you find time to rest and relax and rejuvenate. And just remember that Jesus is the reason for the season, and so don't go broke this week trying to break your neck to buy things for people who may or may not appreciate it. Do what you can, and the rest let God do. I pray that again you find time with family and friends this season, and I will hopefully talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye.